Hello everybody, the Great Dino Ranger here again, back with another figure review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Jurassic World Chaos Theory Danger Pack slash Epic Evolution 2 Guanlong versus Lystrosaurus. So this is another Danger Pack figure set that I couldn't wait to get because it came with a new species primarily, but also another Lystrosaurus. I really like that figure from the Dominion line. And it's nice to get another one, even though it's not a new figure, a new mold or anything. But it's nice to get another Lystrosaurus. You know, pairing a bunch of Lystrosauruses together to create like a herd is pretty cool. And then a new species like Guanlong is a great addition to the lineup, you know, to the collection, because it's a very cool looking dinosaur altogether. So yeah, here's the 2-pack here. So these are the smaller figures of the Danger Pack assortment. So kind of like Beta and the Oviraptor and the Stegosaurus set. Looking forward to seeing what other 2-pack small dinosaurs we'll get in the future. But here's a brief look at the packaging. It's pretty similar to the other, or not similar, it's the exact same Danger Pack packaging. The only difference is the biome habitat in the top right corner, which is part of the tundra environment. Very interesting to place these two species in that environment. You know, I wouldn't that's not the first option I would have picked, but it's pretty interesting. I mean, we're here for the figures mainly. And here's the back, just shows you the name, fax up information, and all the others in the assortment, which I do have them all. I'm debating on whether if I'm gonna get that red raptor someday, but I'm gonna focus on new stuff first, and then if maybe, you know, if need be, I'll get that raptor. But other than that, let's go ahead and crack these figures out of the box. Alrighty, and here we have both figures out of the package. And I gotta say, these are really nice looking figures here. I know one's technically just our repack, but we got a brand new species here, which is pretty nice. I really like these smaller figures that Mattel is doing with their Danger Pack, because, you know, a lot of the Danger Pack figures that Mattel has made in the past based on the actual species seemed kind of big compared to a human. I'm glad that Mattel is kind of giving certain species, especially certain tinier ones, like a bit of a smaller, unique scale that's smaller than your average Danger Pack. So I really like these smaller scale figures, and I like how it's a 2-pack. You know, getting 2 figures for the price of 1, that's a pretty good deal in my opinion. And yeah, these two are really great, just like the Oviraptor and Stegosaurus pack. That one was fun. And then we even got another Lystrosaurus and Beta in this same size range for the Dominion toy line. So I like how Mattel is continuing with this, and I'm looking forward to seeing what others of this 2-pack that we will see next year. So, but yeah, here we got the Guanlong and the Lystrosaurus pack. I gotta say, really cool how they gave us another Lystrosaurus. However, it is such a huge missed opportunity to give us the Dominion Oviraptor instead of a Guanlong. To be honest, I always thought a Guanlong would be part of the larger normal Danger Pack scale, but for this tinier scale, an Oviraptor would have worked so perfectly with this Lystrosaurus, just to kind of recreate that one sequence from Dominion, you know, because we still have yet to get a Oviraptor from Mattel, period. So I don't know when we're gonna get one. I will say that this was such a huge missed opportunity, in my opinion, to include the Oviraptor in this set instead of the Guanlong. But enough about that. Let's go ahead and get into the review. We'll take a look at the Lystrosaurus first, since it's just a repack. There's nothing a whole lot different going on here. It's pretty much the same that we got back in the Dominion toy line that came with Maisie and Beta. But overall, it's a really great little figure. I'm super happy that we have a Lystrosaurus toy in general from Jurassic. So I'm very happy. It looks just like how it does in the movie. I mean, they could have painted the eyes black to kind of match how it did, but the eyes look good here too. But yeah, just overall, just a nice little animal, little figure. So I don't have anything bad to really say about this one. It's basically the same, but you know, it's got a lot of nice detail on it. And yeah, I mean, it's got the scales all over their face, the wrinkles, you know, really nice. They got the texture on the beak and on the little tusks. and a lot of more wrinkles and folds in the skin all over the body, some cool lined texture or detail, some slight muscle definition poking out here and there. So yeah, I mean, it's a really nice little figure. I'm glad I got 2 of these now, because Lystrosaurus seems like something that, you know, you need to build herds of, you know, because it kind of reminds me of Walking with Monsters a little bit with the huge Lystrosaurus herd. But really cool that this animal exists in the franchise, in my opinion, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, not much to really go off. You know, articulation is pretty basic. The limbs just move forward and backwards, both the front and hind limbs. The neck can swivel, and it can rotate up and down, so you get some nice eating or drinking poses, and it can look up at its next opponent or looking up at whatever's about to eat it. So really cool there. And then you got the scan code for this little guy as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Colors are really nice too. Matches the Lystrosaurus, at least in some of the photos that I've seen on the internet. Some of it is like this brown color, just like this. Some of it is like in its gray color. So, I mean, it would have been nice if we got like a new repaint on this Lystrosaurus, but the fact that it's the same one, you know, it's not that big of a deal. I do like the shades of lighter and the darker brown and the yellow eye with the black pupil. And I like how the beak is painted as long as the tusks, so it feels complete in my opinion, minus the toe claws and maybe an underbelly color. But other than that, really great figure. And then now we take a look at a new sculpt, a new figure, a brand new species for Mattel, and that is the Guanlong. So this is another member of the Tyrannosaur family. A very, technically kind of like an obscure species, but a very well-known one in my opinion. But it's really such a cool dinosaur with a really cool name. So yeah, I mean, taking a look at the head sculpt right here, looks pretty nice. I can see a lot of the fine scale detail sculpted in, which Mattel likes to pack a lot of detail in their smaller figures, which makes them really good. Yeah, I like all the scale work. Even got some scales on the crest, which look really nice. Even got the teeth, which are nicely sculpted for being such a small figure, and the little tongue in the back. So yeah, really nice detail. The paint job on the eye is not the best, but this was the only one I found at my Walmart, so I had to get it, or else I might risk not seeing this one again. So this eye is actually pretty good for the most part, but this one's kind of misprinted, which looks kind of off. But you know what? It was the only one there. I have to make sacrifices and just get it. But yeah, the head sculpt is really nice. It matches the Guanlong perfectly, in my opinion. And then you got the entire body here, which is covered in feathers, which is perfect for this species. The feathers kind of cover the top half of the figure, whereas the underside is all skin, as you can see here. Not a whole lot of detail going on in the skin, just kind of more, just kind of like the wrinkly texture. Or actually, you know what? I think the entire body might be covered in feathers. At first, I thought it was just the top half, but I'm looking at the tail. That is definitely some feather sculpt right here. And I think it continues all throughout the body. So this figure might represent a Guanlong that's covered fully in feathers, and the only parts that are exposed or that are skin is the head, the hands, and everything from the ankle to the feet. But everything else is covered in feathers, which are sculpted very nicely. You know, I swear, after Dominion, Mattel's been giving us a lot of feathered dinosaurs recently, or feathered creatures, so I really do like that a lot. It's kind of focusing a bit more on the current look of how we think about dinosaurs, but just really cool, because I kind of felt like that all the figures prior to Dominion were all just scaly creatures, which is not bad, you know, kind of fits the Jurassic aesthetic, but you know, it's really nice. So the sculpt and the feathers right here are very nice. They're a lot smaller here at the underside, but they're a lot larger, more pronounced on the back. Yeah, even got some like larger feathers sticking out from the back right here. That's a nice touch. So yeah, nicely sculpted in the feathers, especially here on the arm. And you got the hands, which are slightly sculpted. But you know, it's hard to pack a lot of detail into a smaller figure, so I'm not gonna complain about Mattel on this one. So really nice sculpt all over the body. and the feathers. You even got some muscle definition poking through the feathers, which is a nice touch. And here at the legs, feet are nicely sculpted as well. So classic theropod feet with the dew claw and the ridges on the toes and all that. And it seems like the feathers kind of continue, at least they get to the thigh region, so the entire backside here is all exposed skin. So really cool. I really like taking a look at these smaller figures and just observing all the cool detail that Mattel puts in it. So really nice. Here's the scan code, which I will say the scan code, as much as I don't have a huge problem with these scan codes, it is kind of noticeable on smaller figures like this because it's just a huge gap. So it's not maybe the best place. I kind of like the whole underneath the feet type thing, but it's not the end of the world, I would say. Articulation, very limited on these smaller figures. The jaw can open and close. The arms can move basically 360, so they cannot pivot in and out, which is weird because Beta could do that. And then the legs can pretty much go far back that way and front that way, so the body kind of prohibits the legs from moving anymore. And then the tail can also rotate, which obviously I don't use that. But that's pretty much it. So there's no neck articulation or anything like that. But these are very basic smaller figures representing smaller species. And I don't know, that's just so cool. In terms of colors are very nice on this one. It kind of fits the tundra environment very nicely, though I'd probably prefer to place a Guanlong in a more foresty environment, foresty mountain environment. And I really like the yellow on the head. It contrasts very well, in my opinion, with the dark colors on the body and the white right here. It kind of makes the head pop and makes it more like a display feature, which is kind of like what the crest might be used for in real life. So I really like the yellow. Even the eye is yellow with a dark pupil. Inside of the mouth, at least the tongue is painted in a pink fleshy color. The teeth are painted in like this off-white color. And I like how you got this dark color, which I think it's supposed to be the same as here at the body, but it's printed, so it's slightly different. You've got some stripes or some splotches around the face, which add to the yellow on the face and makes it pop. And it's kind of cool. You got like a white stripe right here on this black stripe right here, which weirdly enough it's not even on the other side, so that's pretty interesting. And then the entire body is like this dark gray, this dark bluish gray color, which looks really nice. It works really well with the feathers. Then you got like this white part right here for the legs and this like portion right here on the body. So really nice. Would have been cool if maybe you got a little bit of this white maybe sprinkled on the tail, maybe have it like in a ring fashion. That'd be really cool. So yeah, overall, very nicely done figure in my opinion. So now we're gonna go over comparisons. So here are these two figures compared to the human, and I gotta say this works perfect. The Lystrosaurus is maybe not the correct size when compared to Dominion, but the Guanlong, I think it might be the best, maybe a bit smaller in real life, but I think overall it works perfectly. So yeah, compared to a human, that's that. And here's the Lystrosaurus from the Dominion toy line from 2022, and as you can see, they are exactly the same sculpt, same paint. Maybe one paint is slightly brighter or maybe darker than the other one, but other than that, they are exactly the same. So I just kind of want to point that out, but it's nice to have two of them. You can have two of them bully up on this poor Guanlong right here. Have the Guanlong meet a similar fate as the Oviraptor. And here we got the Oviraptor for another comparison for the smaller theropods, or just smaller type of two-legged dinosaur in general. And yeah, they look pretty nice together. I'm looking forward to seeing what others we're gonna get of this size range. You know, I feel like there could be a lot of ideas, and maybe there could even be some room for some remakes of some dinosaurs that were in the larger Danger Pack assortment, and then put them in this new one. So they could potentially give us a Protoceratops in this smaller size range. You know, Psittacosaurus could be a good one too. An Oviraptor, I think that's the one we need the most in my opinion. But yeah, the possibilities are kind of endless with this smaller size range. Next, we'll kind of compare the Guanlong with other smaller Tyrannosaur relatives, especially ones that have little crests on their heads. Here we got the Proceratosaurus. This is the one from 2018, so pretty old figure. Weirdly enough, I think these two were actually similar in size, so to see the Proceratosaurus be bigger is kind of funny. But that goes to show, you know, that Mattel is improving on their sculpts and even their sizes, trying to make sure it's accurate as possible. So yeah, these two look pretty good together. And then here we got the Calescus, which also has a similar crest on its head. So very similar. Obviously the Calescus is bigger, but really cool. I really like the striping on the crests on these dinosaurs. It pops so well in my opinion. So yeah, that's pretty nice. And yeah, that's probably going to be it for this review, guys, for these smaller dinosaurs, or smaller figures. Lystrosaurus is not a dinosaur. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. For my final thoughts, I enjoy these figures a lot. Great additions to the collection if you're a Jurassic Park collector, so I highly recommend it. It's nice to get another new species. My goal is to collect all the species that Mattel releases, and it's nice to get another Lystrosaurus, excuse me, because it's just such a cool animal in my opinion. But yeah, highly recommend it. Great little figures. Looking forward to seeing what else Mattel is going to cook up with these. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this review. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys again for the next video.